Welcome to our course, Data Science Project, and in this part of our course, we are going to talk about Election Vulnerability Index. So specifically, we will be learning about the vulnerability of different countries, and we're going to cluster them based on the status of their vulnerability. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to import the different packages that we're going to use for this project. Basic is, of course, we have the pandas, we have the numpy, and for our visualization, we're going to use the seaborn, the matplotlib, and also the others, of course. There, now we're going to read our data. I just included in the EDA the reading and the loading of the data, or the loading and the reading of the data. So let's execute this one. So this is our TIF now. So we have these different countries or territories, then in what particular region each one of them belongs, and the election type. So for example, we have Albania. It belongs to Europe. Then its election type is parliamentary. Its election is held every April, and the last one was April 2021. And also you can see here the different scores. We have actually three categories, which is being totaled, and the total score would be 100. And the first category is about digital sphere, so it has something to do with the things that's going on online. So the different information spread, and this information must be related to election. And also the second part is the electoral system and political participation. So it's really more about the political landscape as far as the election is concerned. And the last one is about the human rights violation, which are, of course, related to election. And the total score is, of course, 100. Now, let's see the different data types and what category or what feature has some missing values. So let's have this. So we just have 45 countries or 45 entries, and good to know that we don't have any null values, and that's a very good indication. So this one, unduplicated score, just in case there are duplicates. So let's just count. So there is no duplicates, so we have 45 false. Now, the next part is that we're going to split our data into two. So we have categorical and then we have a numerical. So we have used here, we use here the select D type, then we include the object for the categorical, and for the numerical, we include the integer and the float. So there you have it. Now we are going to check first the categorical column. So by the use of discrete or describe function, we will be having the count, the unique, the top, and the frequency. So we have the count, of course, it's 45, the unique countries. So we have 44 countries, unique countries. And the top is the Gambia. So it's how many times it appears on the data set. And for the region, it is Americas. Election type is general, which means to say that in total, general election is very universal, I guess, in all countries. And the month that has the most number of election is November. November 2020. Okay, that includes year, November and 2020. So it must be November 2020. Now, just to include all the categorical columns, so we use this function just to check. And of course, for the categorical, we will be having the count value. So let's execute this. So for the countries, we have this, and this is actually just the same here. The Gambia, which has two appearance in the dataset. Then we also have here the different countries that belongs to different territory or region. So we have Americas has the most number of countries in there in the dataset, followed by SSA. Then we have Asia, Europe, Eurasia, then MENA. Then for the election types, so we have for the general 16, parliamentary is 12. Election month, so November has the most number of election. So if we are going to combine, it's going to be still November 2020, which is 5. 2021 is 4. So still it is November is the month that has the most number of elections held. Now let's go to our numerical columns or numerical data. So let's get the descriptive statistics of this category. So now you can see the count, the mean, the standard deviation, and the five-number summary. Let's dive deep into the categorical columns, I mean the numerical columns. So we need to do the subplots. So we will plot them, the historical insights we can get from the data. So let's execute this. So it may take a while because we do have a lot of categorical columns or features in our data set. So it's done. So now you can see the scores and the distribution plot. So for those having the scores 1.0 for vulnerability to internet disruption. So we have here the blocking of platforms and websites. So we have 4 has the most number of countries having this one, and so on. Now let's go to the box plot. So we will be having which one has outliers and which one is just normal. So let's execute this. It may take some time. Okay, so okay, there we have it. Let's see which one has. Okay, so the digital sphere, okay, digital sphere has some outliers, and also the quality of most recent legislative elections. Also, this one, political equality and participation. And also, we have the due process, the judicial independence. We also have the physical security, freedom from forced ethnic change. So we have those things. Now we are going to make some comparisons based on the total. So we will first have the total, and then we will have, well, the first one is about the top countries, and the second one is about the bottom 20. Again, the first one is the top 20, the bottom is the top or the bottom 20. Then the next one is about by region, the top by region. So let's execute this one. And there you can see we have these different countries. So the Chile is number one in the list with the highest number of the total score. And the least vulnerable, we have these countries. I got it wrong, sorry, I got a mistake. So the first 20, the top 20 is actually the countries which are least vulnerable. And this one, the second part, is the top 20 countries which are most vulnerable to election related crimes or incidents. With respect to the region, let's have this. We have Europe, and the MENA is the most vulnerable. Europe is not. Now, we are going now to compare based on digital sphere. So first is we are going to group the countries based on the digital sphere. Then we get the top 20, and that means they are the least vulnerable. This one is the at the bottom, so they are the most vulnerable. There we have in there. Okay, the next one is this. So these are the countries. We have Iran. Iran is okay. It's actually the least safe country. So as far as the digital sphere is concerned, what about here? Let's go back. Okay, this one, Iran is giving more consistency. It's good to know that we have some consistencies or really consistency in our analysis. What about this one? If the result would be also inconsistency with this part. So let's have, okay, MENA is still the same. Europe is still the least vulnerable. Now let's go to electoral system and political participation. So again, this is the country and also by region. So let's see which of these countries are the least vulnerable. So we have Japan is least vulnerable, Chile, Costa Rica, France. I think this is also very consistent to this one. So Chile, Costa Rica, and so on. What about the least vulnerable? Is Iran still there? Chad, Iran is still here. So it's Venezuela, Pakistan, Chad, Vietnam. Yeah, Vietnam is still here. What about with respect to the region? Let's have this. Okay, so we have, so it's Europe, MENA is still lacking. With respect to the human rights violation, Japan is the safest. Next is Germany. And the most dangerous would be Iraq, Myanmar. Of course, we have Myanmar. It has been having some problems with its junta. Then Russia and Iran. So it's very consistent. It's still Europe and MENA. So probably because Myanmar, Iraq, Iran, these are found in Asia. Comparison by month. So let's see which month has the most number of election regardless of year. So we have November has the most number, then it's followed by October, August, December, and summer and spring's here. Then let's have, it's just an addition actually. Now what we will do is we are going to find the correlation. So what are these different variables or features that are correlated? So we drop here election month, year, the month, digital sphere, electoral system, and political participation, human rights, because from here, going here are actually the main categories. Then election month, we don't need it. Year and month, of course, we don't need that. So let's see. So we have these different values, which are actually very tricky because it's very long and it's not actually very friendly to the eyes. So what we will do is we are just going to make the visualization of this. So let's have this one. Okay, now we have in here, so we can see which one has higher correlation values. What we are going to focus is which ones have higher correlation with respect to total. So let's have this one. Freedom from undue pressure on political choice is contributing or contributes a lot or have more impact to total. Do you want to know more about this channel? Just click these cards. We do have a lot of free data science courses for free like Machine Learning Essentials, Deep Learning Mathematics, and a lot more. Here, you can always learn an upskill for free.